The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 429 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
We've been waiting so long for Ahsoka. Was it worth the wait?
I think it is a beautiful continuation of the storyline.
It was incredible. I mean, the whole experience was great.
And as you can imagine, Times Square being a very busy place, people with lightsabers and costumes didn't really look out of place.
That didn't really sound like an apology.
We are the Ahsokites!
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland!
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets lab.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Ahsoka is here and debuted with a bang at several fan events all over the country. We have reports from each of these events, but first, let's welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, and now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, who's never looked better.
Thank you, sweetie. And we are both wearing Ahsoka head garb.
Yeah, I got a baseball cap on, and
yes,
Sarah's wearing the headbands that they gave to us.
Ahsoka mini ears.
Yeah.
Or Ahsoka ears.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
With the leku around the sides of my head.
And I'm sure every one of you who is looking at Sarah right now going, I wish I could get a pair of those. I really wish. Well, guess what? Pay attention to our Instagram this week because you too could get this Ahsoka mini headdress.
That's right. Woohoo!
And look as good as Sarah.
That's right. It brings out my cheeks. All right, well, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. So it's time for your weekly Wookiee hug. And a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. Now, in this episode, we are going coast to coast. We're going to talk to friends who are at each of the 5 locations that held AHSOKA fan events in the U.S. So the locations were Anaheim, Disneyland, Hollywood at Disney's El Capitan Theater, Orlando at Disney's Hollywood Studios, San Francisco at Lucasfilm Headquarters, and New York at Times Square.
Now, we attended the event at Disneyland and can't wait to share our experience. And we'll also give some initial reactions to the first 2 episodes that were screened.
Spoiler free.
Yes, very much so. Then our reviews for the first 3 episodes of Ahsoka, since Ahsoka is now going to be airing on Tuesday. So the next episode, number 431 of, episode 430 of Skywalking Through Neverland, we're going to break down the first 3 episodes of Ahsoka. And yes, lots of spoilers in those.
And how cool that it's premiering on Tuesday evenings. Like, I think that's great. We don't have to stay up so late. And the East Coast especially doesn't have to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch or get up super early. They can actually wait till like 9 p.m. at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, but I like getting up the next morning and having an episode right there. It's like Christmas morning every Wednesdays. But we're going to be watching them on Tuesdays at 6.
Yeah, we will. Definitely. All right, this show is being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond level Disney vacation planner travel agency. They can help you book your trip to Disney parks around the world, and best of all, Their service is free of charge. So head to smallworldvacations.com, get a no obligation price quote, and also tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Those mantras really bring out your glasses. All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on this rainy day, August 20th, 2023. Now, before we get into the fan event report, Meredith Duckworth is here with us to share a non-spoiler review, initial thoughts on the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
And that is in
Things We Want to Share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
Meredith Duckworth is joining us right now to share her initial spoiler-free reactions to the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka. And then she'll be back later to share her fan event experience at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Hey, Meredith!
Hey, Richard and Sarah.
All right, now here's the big question. We've been waiting so long for Ahsoka. So long. It's here. Was it worth the wait?
It absolutely was worth the wait. It was everything.
So tell us a little bit about your initial reactions. Spoiler-free initial reactions to the first 2 episodes.
I am so happy that we got to see so many new droid babies and so many new Loth cats, and that they are such an important part of Star Wars lore, and it's always a blessing to see them. I am loving how they are setting up the character development, and I'm loving all the characters that we've currently gotten to see.
Now, did these episodes tie into where you thought things were going to go when we last left off with these characters in Rebels?
I think it is a beautiful continuation of the storyline. I think they are definitely following Dave's pattern well of lacing up the tapestries.
I like that a lot. Yeah, there's definitely some mystery to what has happened between Rebels and now when we see these characters in Ahsoka.
Yeah, there's a lot of mysteries that we're still waiting for the resolution as to what happened. So they set up a lot. From what we've seen so far, they haven't really explained too much. Do you like that?
I do. I like how they're seeding it, and I think it's doing a lot to bring the everyone into Star Wars event.
Do you think that this show alone is a standalone series? And I say that because a lot of people are like, hey, every season, every series should stand alone, which will never happen. You can't come into a series like this and go, okay, this is going to be my springboard into Star Wars. So if you had no prior experience about Ahsoka, do you think fans or coming in, let's say an audience will enjoy Ahsoka?
So Ahsoka has been such a big part of so many Star Wars things that I think that it will be difficult to be completely naive to her presence. But I don't think that you have to know everything about everything Ahsoka has ever done in Star Wars lore to be able to appreciate it. Because we're going to get people coming from Clone Wars, we're going to get people coming from Rebels, and we're going to get people coming from just the 2 episodes she did in Mando and Boba Fett. And it still is, it's world building enough that you don't have to know everything going in.
Okay. I think who we need to ask is Kelly Turkel. She knows Ahsoka from The Mandalorian, right? But that's really it. She hasn't watched the Clone Wars or Rebels. Yep. So I think we need to talk with Kelly. At some point. Yeah.
Well, get Kelly on the line.
Well, so Richard, what are your initial reactions to these first 2 episodes? Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. I had a really good time with it. I love the moment when I can sit down and see a film for the first time, when a new film is released, sitting down and the lights go down and the movie comes up. That is like one of the most thrilling moments of my life. I had such a great time with Ahsoka, and leading up to Ahsoka with Boba Fett and with Mandalorian, I was right where I needed to be. That was a good pre-roll into the series, so I was all good to go. It wasn't like we went from Rebels to Ahsoka, where you're like, okay, now what? She last was taking off with Sabine to find Ezra, and then what happened? So I was primed and ready to go, and I had such a great time with both episodes.
Nice.
You?
Yeah. So for me, I thought, well, okay, so one of the best things I think they did, so Ahsoka is created by Dave Filoni, it's written by Dave Filoni. You can really tell his touch. Like all the visuals, I mean, they are spot on. They're beautiful. Anything you've seen in the trailer that just looks gorgeous, like that's, you can tell it's Dave Filoni's touch there. Also, I feel like just the colors of certain planets or scenes really pop. Like Dave Filoni was known for doing these Ahsoka cards when Rebels came out that were black and white with little red accents. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a planet that kind of mimics this feel, and I love that. And then best of all, they had Kevin Kiner do the music for this. And I feel like Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and now Ahsoka is carrying on what Kevin Kiner now has, a symphony of Star Wars music. And so I feel like he really built upon that music and fleshed it out for Ahsoka. And there's a bunch of things that he does so well, which is mix world instruments with our traditional instruments. And that is like seamlessly woven through these first two episodes that we saw. And it's almost like a tone poem from like what I've seen. So I really love Kevin Kiner's music in there too.
Well, yeah, you got to bring back Kevin Kiner when doing Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Seeing how he's done so much music for Ahsoka leading up to this.
Well, it's his symphony, and you can tell there's like Ahsoka's theme in there. There's Ezra's theme. There's all these little themes that are brought back in this series, and
he's pretty much done all the work right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's great.
I love that the old Ahsoka theme that is generally associated with her is very epic and hopeful and booming, and this one was more forceful. It was she's on a mission, she's going forward, she's moving forward, and she's taking you with her.
Are you talking about the theme in the credits?
So the intro theme, which anybody can pull up on the music sources now, it's a lot more rushed than like her old Ahsoka theme that was pulled out of the other stuff, that was very hopeful and sweeping, whereas this one it's more get you up in the action. So it's nice that she's being granted both sides of the coin too.
Definitely.
All right, now were there any big surprising moments within these two episodes for you, Meredith? I can think of two for me.
Yes, there definitely were. Unfortunately, with spoilers, I can't say what they were, other than had a bit of feeling like butter there watching. I was thinking of you guys during the opening crawl and opening credits, though. I'm like, how many times are we going to pause it on Disney Plus so that we can count all the different helmets?
Right.
Yes.
During that little promo
intro. I didn't even register any of them because I was just so in the moment of watching.
It wasn't until you mentioned this right now where it's like, oh yeah, they did do that Disney Plus opening.
They did, but we were like, oh.
But I just, once again, I was just so excited to see a brand new Star Wars series, not just a new season, but a new series, that it took me quite a while to go, oh yeah, we're watching Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yes. So
how many surprising moments were there for you?
Oh gosh. Well, definitely one it comes to mind.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you tell us where that surprising moment took place?
At the end of episode 1.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So so far, you two already stolen mine.
Well, come on. All right. When you guys see it, you'll know.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, the big surprising moment was, like you had said, Meredith, the opening crawl. We've never had this before. Opening crawl, and it wasn't like the Star Wars crawl where it goes into space.
Right.
It was like more like the.
It was like a credit roll. Mm-hmm.
And I was very surprised by that and the color of the crawl.
Yes.
I'm glad they didn't do the whole Star Wars crawl into space, just to give it some kind of differentiate it from the films. Yeah, and the second big surprise came at the end of the first episode.
Yes.
I was like, whoa.
So in the next episode of Skywalking to Neverland, we'll definitely flesh all this out.
Yes. Yeah,
but right now.
So they had to have shown 2 episodes.
Yes.
If they had just shown 1 episode, there would have been a riot. It would have been like a Metallica concert.
Mm-hmm.
People ripping seats out of the floors and throwing them. And I've never been to a Metallica concert, so I don't want to throw Metallica under the bus. But you know what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes. All right. So Meredith, did you feel that this had the Dave Filoni touch?
Yes, it absolutely did. It had that clear, forward-moving story. The flashbacks are handled so well. They're weaved in instead of slapping you in the face with them. And there's definitely everybody on the screen is important.
Definitely.
Yes, including those Loth cats.
Yes.
A lot of screen time were devoted to the Loth cats.
Okay, that was the cutest Loth cat ever. Like, there was a Loth cat in, was it Mandalorian season 2? And it just looked weird. And I didn't, when they were eating the spotchka.
Yeah. Well,
and it just looked weird, and his nose was weird. And this Loth cat was so cute.
Well, that Loth cat, I believe, was mainly digital, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
But the close-ups were all puppets. Same with this one here. This one, there were no digital Loth cats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one. And being a puppeteer, I'm looking for those. How well can you hide puppeteers when you only see half of a creature? The other half is like a guy crammed up in the suit trying to move the controllers.
Right.
But yeah, they did a great job on the puppeteering of this Loth cat. I would have thought this was a real Loth cat. Now, at what point will they sell actual size Loth cats at Galaxy's Edge?
They already do.
I mean, they're pretty close. Yeah. And they have the exact same noises. I noticed that. They grabbed that library of sounds and was like, okay,
well, they got
this in.
That one sleeping Loth cat in the cage, but the Loth cats that they sell, they're tiny. Not like the one that Sabine had.
They're kittens. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they're kittens.
Okay.
See, there you go.
Right. They get bigger when you bring them home. I want a full-size Loth cat.
Yes. Ironically, I have the one with that coloring at home, and his name is Ezra.
Did they didn't name this Loth cat?
Nope, they did not.
Sabine's got a Loth cat in her communication tower where Ezra once lived. But yeah, they don't think they ever named the Loth cat.
No, they don't. I was listening for it. Yeah.
So Sarah, did this have a Dave Filoni touch for you?
Oh yeah, well, I already mentioned the colors, the coloring of
right.
scenes.
Okay.
And yeah, that for me, the whole just placement of camera and movement and what is that called? Cinematography, or when the mise en scène.
The mise en scène.
Mise en scène.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that ties in. For me, it felt like Dave Filoni, because when you see the humor of The Mandalorian, I think that comes more from Jon Favreau. And these episodes they didn't have the Favreau humor to them. There was a couple of funny moments, but there weren't too many laugh out loud moments.
It's definitely more mythic.
Yeah, Dave is very, very serious with his storytelling. So that to me, and which is fine, but that's the Dave Filoni touch I got out of this. Okay. And some of those lingering moments that you really want, he doesn't cut away very quickly. He wants you to feel what that character is feeling by just hanging on to them for just a few more almost uncomfortable seconds. Yeah. So, Meredith, if you were to put on your critical hat about things that maybe could have been done better, what would you say?
Is it weird to say that I think they could have spent more time on the credits?
Oh.
Yes! Yeah.
That's not weird to say.
Yeah, I'm with you there, because we
too.
like to pause credits and read them.
Yes.
They flew by.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
So Meredith already took that one, so you can't take that one.
Okay. All right, for
That's
me.
That's funny, though.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, I think for me, critiquing wise, I feel like things were very slow paced, and I don't know if that could have been brought up in the pace or if that's just how the story is, but to me it just felt kind of slow, especially the first episode. And it was beautiful to look around in the episode. You had time in these scenes to really look around, but it was a little slow.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I like those lingering few more frames that he keeps on to different characters. But there was one scene that, okay, let's maybe
speed it
cut
up.
the scene down to give more time to the credits.
There you go.
So yeah, the first one was a little bit slower than I would have liked, but the second episode, whoom, flew by. There was so much there,
and a big fun chase, and things like that.
And they really paid homage to what we had seen earlier, like in Rogue One and Phantom Menace. There are two scenes that definitely play homage to those two films.
And Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Meredith, and we'll talk with you shortly about your fan event experience.
I look forward to it.
You are now an Ahsokite. That's our new word.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
All right, now let's share the Ahsoka fan event reports, and I'm so excited about this. But first, let's start here at home at Disneyland, where we were.
Yes, and we want to thank Disney and Lucasfilm for the invite. Now, we had a blast hanging out with Brian Sims, and he took loads of great photos, which you could see on Facebook. We'll be sharing all week. I need to actually go through them and pick out fun ones to share.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this was a really unprecedented fan event. We were like so blown away by the generosity.
They went so above and beyond.
Well, first we have to proceed this by, so Disney and Lucasfilm is finding different ways to promote Ahsoka series without using SAG actors and directors. I mean, Dave Filoni he's in SAG as well.
Yeah, and well, he's a writer too.
And a writer, yes. So they have to find different ways to do that. So they put on these fan events, which I think is a really great way to do that because fans will promote what your shows, right? I mean,
hence this episode.
Yes. So they really took good care of us. We got notified that we had park hopper tickets for the day, which is amazing. We got a free parking voucher. We got food vouchers. And also, and this was a huge surprise, we got lightning lanes to all the Star Wars rides at Disneyland. So Rise of the Resistance, which is, everyone wants to go on that one. Star Tours and Smuggler's Run. So we got to go on all of those, lightning lane, which means fast pass,
Yeah, but
walk right in.
The biggest surprise is they let us build a droid.
Yes, one per party. So we built one droid.
Oh, check this out. We've always wanted to build this droid, and here we are. Here's Chopper.
Oh.
Is he turned on?
Yeah, I'll turn him on.
Okay.
Okay, now he is. Turn that on.
Okay, here we go. Chopper, look at the camera. At the camera, Chopper. No, the other camera. No, the other camera. The other camera. Chopper, no, look straight ahead. Chopper. There you go, right there. Yeah. What's your language? Come on. This is live streamed, okay? Okay, apology accepted.
That didn't really sound like an apology. Oh my god.
Don't add insult to injury, Chopper, okay? Yeah. Okay. Shh. There might be kids listening, Chopper. If there's kids listening, I'm so sorry about this. So yeah, we built a Chopper droid, and we recorded some video. So that'll be an Instagram reel sometime very, very soon.
Mm-hmm. He's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was a big surprise, because that is like just one of the many giant things that were waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we went to the Ahsoka screening, the Tomorrowland Theater.
Right, and this is right next to like the Starcade, and
Star Tours,
Trader.
the Star Trader, and
Right.
Hyperspace Mountain.
Right.
Space Mountain.
Or space, yeah.
Depending on when you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was all kinds of backdrops. You can take pictures.
And immediately when we got in and showed our ID to get our credential. Oh, where's the Ahsoka credential?
Right over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, show them this because, you know, they have to give you the credential and it's super cool. So you feel special walking around Disneyland all day. But here is the credential. We're showing that on YouTube right now. How cute is that? And so we walk into the Tomorrowland Theater area, the loading area, and immediately they gave us these Ahsoka ears. And then they had us take pictures on the backdrop. And right away we saw the filming crew that Disney had, so that, you know, the next day they shared all these videos from fan events. But we did some fun filming, right? Like they had us chant, or you started chanting, Ahsoka, Ahsoka.
Tano,
Yeah.
Tano.
Yeah, and I heard one of the Disney people be like, okay, they're the energy people. It was so funny. Yeah. So then we took pictures at the backdrops. They
loaded us down with candy and beverages.
Yep. And there was a cool, like, VR Ahsoka experience where you stepped in front of a camera and all of a sudden you had Ahsoka headdress on and part of her outfit, and the lightsabers lit up where your hands were. So it was mapping your body and putting the appropriate things in the appropriate areas. So
yeah, if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see a recap video.
Yes.
We put out the next day.
Yeah, you can see all of these.
You'll see all the highlights.
Yeah, it was super cool.
And then we walked into the theater and it was just amazing. Just the energy, because we're all here to see a new Star Wars show.
Oh, yeah.
They had a DJ playing music.
Yeah, lots of enthusiastic fans. There were some really cool, because you can't cosplay at Disneyland as an adult, but there were some really interesting outfits. I especially noticed one couple, or I don't know if they were a couple, but one gentleman was dressed as Ahsoka, but like as a, slightly like in a dress almost, a dressy Ahsoka, and then his friend was dressed as a Sabine, but like
she looked good.
She looked really good.
Yeah, the long-haired episode 1.
Yes.
Ahsoka Sabine.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then another couple was dressed as like Tomorrowland Dapper Day, like Star Tours.
Star Tours, very 50s
Attendant.
retro.
Yeah. Retro Dapper Day attendant.
Yeah, and look at our social media. You'll see them waving their finger at me like,
Yes.
You'll never be a rebel spy. Ain't gonna happen.
I think I also saw them in the official Star Wars video as well.
Oh yeah, you had to. They look great.
They did.
So once again, the energy was just fantastic in the theater. Everyone was so excited, and just like I was saying in our conversation with Meredith, this is one of these very rare opportunities when you're sitting down to watch a new Star Wars film or TV show. And this doesn't come very often, so when it does come, you just take in that moment.
Yeah. And also it was about 5 or 6 p.m. and it was really hot that day, so it was really nice to be in an air-conditioned dark theater. With other huge fans as well.
Yeah, so they play the 2 back-to-back episodes, no intermission, no, hey, go and use the restroom if needed. I don't think we needed that because of what happened at the end of the first episode.
Right.
Like, just play the second episode right now.
Yes, absolutely.
And then when we walked out of the theater, they were giving us more gifts.
Yeah, they were like, and here's another surprise.
Yeah. And they gave us these really cool Ahsoka lightsabers.
How cool
are
what's
these?
really cool, so these are going to be available at Shop Disney and Disneyland, the Disney parks. They are the toy lightsabers, so they're very light. They're very manageable. But they came in a carrying...
Was that you?
That was Chopper.
Okay.
Chopper.
Okay.
But they came in a carrying case. You know, I wonder if Chopper is reacting to the lightsabers. I don't know. But they came with this carrying case. And then Richard, you noticed later on that they came with belt clips for the lightsabers.
Yeah, so you can take the sabers out of the hilts.
Yeah.
And just have the hilts attached to your belt.
Yeah, I don't want to take them out because I don't trust myself, but...
Yeah, I don't trust you either. Give me that. Yeah, so we were so surprised with that. And then they said, okay, everyone, follow us.
Yep.
And it was a big conga line over to Star Tours.
Where we got our own Star Tours ride, basically.
And you'll see in the video, I thought, oh, is this a big surprise for me? Are they going to finally make me the rebel spy? Watch the video and find out if I was or not.
Meanwhile, they had split our group in half. So I guess part of the other group, which was D23. So we were part of the fan site and influencers group. But then the D23 group, which Louella and Nanette were a part of, they went over to the castle and took pictures with their new lightsabers and had this big group picture at the castle. So if you do see that picture, we're not in it.
Yeah, so you either got a Star Tours ride or a picture by the castle.
Yeah, it was interesting. So we didn't get the picture by the castle, but I guess they didn't have enough room.
But they kept saying that. They kept alluding to the fact that another big surprise is coming, and maybe that's going to be it.
Yeah.
But the other surprise, which I'm very happy with, is a photo op with AHSOKA.
Yes. So this is official Disney AHSOKA. Now Star Wars is finally taking a clue from Marvel. Finally. And the day after AHSOKA airs on Disney Plus, AHSOKA, the character, will be available in Disneyland at Galaxy's Edge. So if you do see our pictures were in not the trading post. What is the place where we took pictures with AHSOKA?
Launch Bay.
Launch Bay. Our pictures were in Launch Bay, but they just did that because I wanted to keep her secret. But your pictures with AHSOKA, she'll be kind of meeting and greeting and wandering around Galaxy's Edge, just like the Mandalorian does with Grogu and things like that. So it is a little harder to take a picture that way, but she will be there when the show debuts. So I think that's great. She will be exclusive to Disneyland, however. So we're sorry, our Walt Disney World friends. Unfortunately, I guess they don't want to break continuity with the Star Cruiser over there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, how are they going to work this out with the timeline? Well, you know how tight they are maintaining this timeline.
Wait.
But what if they had like a World Between World backdrop? There you go. There's your answer. That's how this AHSOKA could become part of the Galaxy's Edge timeline.
You know what they really do, though, is they make Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers and Vi Moradi go in one particular area of Galaxy's Edge, of Batuu, and then AHSOKA and Mandalorian stay, and Fennec Shand stay in, like, the marketplace and the other side, the west side of Batuu. So we got the east side and the west side.
Yes.
They're in two different timelines.
Just use the whole World Between World concept, and you're safe.
You know what the World Between Worlds is in Galaxy's Edge? It's Ronto Roasters. Because that's where the time shifts.
Oh, okay.
That's where the characters can't walk beyond.
So you can't really bring up much about the storyline to AHSOKA unless they do use this World Between Worlds. Already, I was confusing her, or she was confusing me when we met.
Oh, yes. She said something about
I didn't know what she was talking about. She didn't know what I was talking about.
You were wearing the ears.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what she had said.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Watch the video. It'll explain everything.
That's on YouTube. All right. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun. And once again, wow, this is a great fan event that they put on. And thank you to Disney and Lucasfilm.
Yeah. We had a great time, but our friend Brian Sims, what did he have to say about this event?
The event has been a lot more than I expected. I didn't think that we were going to be doing this much. And of course, they took care of us with food. They gave us vouchers so we could eat anywhere we wanted to eat today. And when we got over to the AHSOKA screening, they had a wonderful snack bar for us. And we got to sit and watch the first 2 episodes of AHSOKA with a great crowd in the Tomorrowland Theater.
And we got some great giveaways, and what were those?
We have...
All right, Brian, you gotta put them on.
Brian,
you gotta put them on.
Yeah. Right over the baseball cap.
There you go.
I gotta take this off. I can't be that serious. We got led over to Star Tours, and we went on a ride for Star Tours. And then we are still waiting for the very first character reveal for Disney's meet and greet with AHSOKA.
So, of all the fan events you've been to, how does this rate?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. This is probably the most interesting screening I've ever been to.
Why is that?
There's just a lot of moving parts, and it's been fun. It's been interesting. The Disney people have been wonderful, and they've kept us on our toes, and it's been a fun experience.
If there was one thing that they could have done better, what would it have been?
A little better organized, a little better communication.
Okay, in what regards? What wasn't clearly communicated?
We're sitting here right now talking instead of knowing where we're supposed to be.
and we think we might have missed the picture in front of the castle, but it wasn't clear where we were supposed to go after Star Tours. So we wandered over to Launch Bay.
Well, they did say go to Launch Bay for a surprise. The surprise was delayed.
Yes.
And now we're waiting for the next command.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? Things happen, and I think something might have happened with Ahsoka's outfit, or Leku, or Togruta head. So we're not sure what happened, but this has happened before. In like Star Wars, what was it? Star Wars Night?
Yes.
One of the Star Wars nights, Ahsoka was supposed to appear. People were waiting and waiting. She ended up not even appearing one night, and another night appearing way up high where you couldn't get like face-to-face pictures with her. So I think that costume is just really hard. Yeah. But, you know, it happens, and Disney's trying to make the best of it, so we applaud them for doing their best.
Very much. All right, Brian, before you sign out, give us your best Ahsoka pose with the lightsabers. Come on, you gotta do it all. You gotta do it right. There you go. All right, well, Brian, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later on. All right, this is the way.
That's the wrong show.
This one doesn't have a catchphrase yet.
Not yet, but it will.
We also ran into more Skywalkers. Louella Laureolla and her friend Nanette Pittenger were also there through D23, and we got their review of the night.
We are now here with
Louella and Nanette.
Yes, our two Ahsokites.
Ahsokites. Yes.
Is that a thing?
Yes, we'll make it a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You two are the first Ahsokites.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor.
All
because
right.
Ahsoka's just so awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So speaking of awesome, we are here at the AHSOKA fan event at Disneyland. Tell us what your experience is.
Gosh, I think this is probably one of the
best that they've done.
fan events.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, for one thing, I think if you are a true Ahsoka fan, it's top notch. Look at this.
I know, look at this. We got Ahsoka,
We got Ahsoka gear, Ahsoka sabers, and just
this is a surprise.
Yeah, this is a surprise, and also just to attend the event, they gave popcorn and snacks. There was photo opportunities as my saber is turning on, and we got to see the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka,
which was amazing.
Yeah. You know, so and to be around Ahsoka fans at a fan event is probably one of the best things. True fans, yeah.
Yeah, what was people were wearing? Was it fun to see what people were wearing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did
People
anything
are so
stand
talented.
out to you?
It makes my Star Wars shirt just kind of like blah.
I'm wearing a Star Wars dress, but you know, it's just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cute.
I think I love the bounding. There were some Ahsoka bounding, Star Tours bounding.
Yeah, the couple that was in Star Tours gear, they were top notch. Wow.
Almost like Dapper Day.
True.
Ahsoka shirts, and everyone's wearing the headgear, people doing the hair. So I think within reason of what you can do at Disneyland, you can't go full costume. I think people really brought their A game and talent out. Yeah, put my little shirt to shame, but I love my shirt. If you got here early enough, they gifted some of the fans with rides to ride the Star Wars rides, Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon, Star Tours, and just enjoy the ambiance of the park. And then it culminates at the event, and I think there's still more. So
we're
we'll see.
waiting on something else.
Some surprise.
Yeah,
some surprise. Yeah.
We're not sure.
Yeah.
We're not sure yet, but this was already. If this was
this was amazing.
This was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, D23. Seriously, I love being a member.
Yeah, is that how you got into this? Like, how did that work out?
Yeah. Okay. It was like that was through D23, and I think there's other ways, but if you can join any fan event, I mean, Ahsoka fan, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, now you've been to a bunch of different events at Disneyland. Like I've seen your pictures. You got to see parades, before they debut and things like that.
Yeah.
So how did this compare to those?
I think they're always upping themselves. So probably my first one was amazing, and then it just gets better and better.
Yes.
But to watch AHSOKA at Disneyland is
before
and we were wondering
everybody else.
Before everyone else.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, to kind of get that sneak peek, and then to feel like you are in the movie with her, to almost be her is exciting.
Very exciting.
And we have to be tight-lipped. We don't want to have any spoilers, but my goodness, it's nice to actually.
I can't wait till everybody else gets to see it.
Yeah, that
it
we
is
can
amazing.
join in the conversation.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, of all the different fan events, oh my gosh, this is up there. We were talking about this.
Yeah, we were saying this is like we kept on saying what?
Yeah.
What?
They
keep
giving us
stuff. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then they took a photo of a lot of the fans in front of the castle.
Yes.
Group with
photo.
all our
Lightsabers
lightsabers and just the fans. So yeah, they really knew how to spoil the fans. I guess I would say that.
What do you think they could do to up themselves for the Acolyte?
Oh
gosh.
boy. Oh boy.
Aside from having the actors here, what else could they do? Because they gave us lightsabers, they gave us these headdresses, they gave us candy and soda.
I'd really have
a full buffet.
You know.
Like an after party.
Yeah, Ronto wrap and some blue milk.
Yeah,
maybe.
there you go. Oh, that's a good idea too.
I don't know
Seriously,
how
this
they could-
event was ultimate. Yeah, ultimate one.
All right, now each of you take a lightsaber and give us your best AHSOKA pose.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. This is mine. Wait. Oh, mine just turned off. Okay. Boom. I guess we shouldn't really be smiling.
Okay, and now say, we are the AHSOKites.
We are the AHSOKites.
So that about covers the Anaheim event. So now let's check in with our good friend Martin Keeler and see what the El Capitan event was like. So he sent us in a recorded report. So let's listen to that now.
Hey, Richard and Sarah, it's Martin Keeler here reporting on the El Capitan AHSOKA fan event that took place last Thursday. So, quick summary of what happened. We went in, collected our credentials, and were immediately put into a red carpet where we could have our photo taken in front of the AHSOKA sort of advertising board. Really cool, nice little memento of the event. Went inside, got our free popcorn and drinks, which were unlimited for the night, which again is very appreciated. And then to a second advertising board, but this one with AHSOKA herself in the background. And we were lucky enough to be joined by Chopper for that event from the Droid Builders, which was really, really cool. In the foyer, they had some of the props from the program. In this one in particular was Sabine's speeder bike. So we took loads of pictures of that. There was quite a queue for photos, as you can imagine. And then I can't remember the name of the company, but they were doing hairstyling and braiding and colouring. They've obviously got a tie-in with AHSOKA. But again, you could get your hair done in the style of Sabine there. Again, another really cool thing to do. We then went downstairs into the sort of second foyer where they actually had costumes from AHSOKA, which was AHSOKA's... I can't remember the second one, but also the, I always call him Dr. Droid, the David Tennant, he was at Hugh Yang, actually animatronic droid, which was busy looking at people and moving around. Again, really cool. Went into the main auditorium. Of course, at the El Capitan, that was a treat for us, our first time of going there. You had the DJ warming up the audience. Most people were in costume, which again was really cool. And lots of giveaways, including Lego, AHSOKA sabers, all sorts of stuff, jewellery, getting the crowd hyped up. Massive photo taken on the stage of people in costume, lots of lightsabers in the air, and then we settled down and watched the first 2 episodes, which I thought were excellent. There you go, there's a brief summary of what happened. It was really cool to be involved. I think it was a great solution by Disney to ensure there was events without breaking the strike rules. I know people have had different views on that, and I think that's all for well and good, but I think they did as well as you can do, and it was much appreciated. So there you go. Hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Martin Keeler.
All right, now let's hear from our good friend Marcus Doring, who was at the San Francisco event held at the Lucasfilm headquarters. Hey, Marcus!
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Richard. How are you?
We are doing great and can't wait to hear your story. Now, you traveled all the way from Nashville to Northern California to attend the event. Was this the location that was offered to you, or was this your first choice?
It would have been my first choice regardless. But yeah, this happened to be the choice or the only option. I found out about just a week before that I was able to go. And so then I was checking with my family, my work, and then at the same time trying to find some sort of decent flights there and back. And it all worked out. I mean, it was a blast, and I'm glad I was able to do that.
Now, were you invited by through the 501st? Is that how you got your invite? Okay.
Yes, through the Golden Gate Garrison, which is the local garrison there, and also via Lucasfilm, obviously, because they invited the garrison there. But we also had other members there from also from far away. There was a Doku cosplayer from Pittsburgh, for example. So I think what they did was they had, apart from the local garrison or regional garrison invites, they also had certain costumers that they wanted there. And so they were looking, far and away or close as well. But then, so it was full. It was probably 300 people to fill the theater there.
300?
Wow. Well, I guess Lucasfilm hasn't seen my Walrus Man costume, or they wouldn't have invited us. So no, judging by your Facebook pictures, you had a blast. So take us through the entire day when you first got there.
Sure. So after, again, a week before I got the okay, and then I got the flights. So I arrived in San Francisco the day of the event, 10 a.m., direct flight from Nashville to SFO. And then from there, I had some time because the event wasn't until 7 p.m. Call time was 6 to register and then have a seat and take pictures and do some interviews if you wanted to. So I had some time. I was able to visit the Summit at Skywalker Ranch store at Big Rock Ranch.
Nice.
Wow. That's like the ultimate Star Wars store.
Yeah, they moved it from Skywalker Ranch to the Big Rock Ranch.
Okay.
But either place is magic. You feel the force around you when you're there.
You feel the dark side reaching into your wallet too.
Oh, it smells good? How funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. It's just like everything around it. Like there's so much, greenery and stuff. And so it's like, okay, and it's very quiet. And so you feel at very, at ease. And when you see the Yoda statue, then you're home, right? So I did some shopping there, some light shopping or not. And then I drove back. I met some friends on the way down there. Then we drove together. We were able to park in the underground garage there at the Presidio. They had spots for us. And then we all kind of gathered around the Yoda statue there at the fountain to kind of say hi and then just kind of wait till the check-in opens. We were able to go inside the lobby area, take pictures, which usually you're not allowed to. And then, the check-in came, and then we got this little nice badge here. Yours looks the same, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Nice.
Richard, what number do you have? We can trade.
Oh.
We have number 185 and 186.
1086.
1086.
1086,
Okay.
1085. So 1000.
5128. I don't know if that's
Okay.
has any significance to you.
Nope. I have no idea.
Well, there's some collector out there who's like, I got to get them all.
We've got an orange
Oh my
sticker.
gosh.
We got an orange sticker.
Oh, no sticker here.
Yeah. That's
What's
because
that
we were.
for? You got popcorn?
No, they split us into groups at Disneyland.
To photo taking groups.
Yeah, like
Okay,
different
okay.
to have a meet and greet with the official Ahsoka.
And so you were saying there were about 300 people there?
Yeah, that's kind of the capacity of the theater. I know they invited some Lucasfilm employees to watch it as well, but there weren't that many. So I'm guessing the fans were the majority. 99%.
Were you dressed up at this point?
No. I wasn't asked to dress up. I could have brought something light, but I felt like I just want to just enjoy
I'm
it.
sure everyone wanted to wear their Narkina 5 outfits. Call it a day.
Yeah, or the pink shorts guy. Yeah.
You have that cosplay.
So at 6 o'clock was check-in. We got the badge, and then there was this backdrop that you also had, where it says fan event with all the cities, on the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
So we took pictures there, and then they had some people there who were taking interviews. So I did that too, and then.
What kind of interviews was this? On camera interviews for various outlets?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was for Lucasfilm.
Okay. Interesting.
Directly, yeah.
That montage that we were included in, they had camera units at all 5 locations.
Yes.
And they made that 1 minute video.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So, and they did interviews before and after, get the reaction. Of course, to cram all that into 1 minute, it was, I think I was on there, but I didn't say anything. I was just laughing, I think.
Yeah, I think I saw a flash of you. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Blink and you miss it. But so then we sat down in the theater. There was a DJ who was giving out some lightsabers as a raffle. You got your raffle ticket before with your badge, and then he would call 4974, and then whoever got it got 2 lightsabers.
With
they
the
had
Ahsoka lightsabers?
Probably yes.
Nice.
Yes, yeah. They had probably 100 to give out, and
wow.
And then
did you get one? Did you get a set?
No, I would have. If I would have gotten, I would have probably given it away because there was no mean, or I didn't have the means to carry it back to Nashville. But no, I didn't get one. That's fine. That's fine. And then at 7, right on set, at 7 o'clock Pacific time, we started with the first episode, and then followed by credits in the second episode.
Nice.
Now, were there any costumes on display or props? Because some locations, I think mainly just New York, had. No, I'm sorry, the El Capitan in Hollywood had some costumes, and Sabine Speeder. Did they have anything there?
Nope, just the backdrop.
Wow, that's surprising.
But we had the fountain, so I don't know.
Oh yeah. What about Chopper? Did you have Chopper?
We had a Chopper, yes.
Oh, okay.
An R2 builder brought him.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how there's multiple Choppers.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. So, and yeah, it was over like around 9 or 8:40, something like that. I think the runtime was almost the same. I think the second one was a bit shorter than the first one, but it was definitely applause in the beginning, between the episodes.
Okay, so without spoiling anything, in a nutshell, what did you think of the episodes?
Yes, I loved it. I loved them. Yes. It's a shame we have to wait another week, but
yes.
Like 2 weeks essentially. But
a couple of days now.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, I mean, for the new
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Erg.
It's like,
the end of
no,
August.
it was great. It was a lot of character building, which was expected to happen. But the action was phenomenal, and the new characters were great. I loved them, and Hera, to see her on the big screen, and Sabine, and Ezra in a way. But wait, did I spoil anything? Just cut it out.
No, because we've seen Ezra in the trailers.
All the trailers.
Okay.
Said trailer things, yeah.
Yeah, I would say most of the things that we had seen in the first 2 episodes, we had seen in the trailers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how many big surprising moments, without saying what they were, did you experience in these episodes? I counted 532. So...
I got one more. So we have to recap them later.
You know what? I did blink in the first episode. At the 30-minute mark, I couldn't hold my eyes open anymore, so they blinked. And so you got me on that one.
It was many surprises, or like gasps, and I looked around at some point. Like looked to the left and to the right, and then they were all like, like
Yeah.
Open mouth, like
mouths
staring at the
agape.
screen.
Nice.
Yes.
So, for the fan event itself, how many surprising moments did you experience? Because at ours, every couple of minutes they were like handing us something different or showing us something new.
It wasn't really that much. We didn't have popcorn or a drink.
Oh wow!
So it was. I said, and then Kristen Baver was there too. I asked her, "Do we have that?" And she said, "No." I said, "I'm out of here. I'm going." You know, I don't need this.
I suppose in that theater there, they don't allow food or drinks.
Yes, I think that's right. They don't allow food
Yeah.
or drinks.
It is. It would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Too much cleanup.
Now, is this the theater, when you walk in the lobby, it's just to the left? And I'm sure the sound system was like the best you're going to get.
It was incredible. I mean, the whole experience was great. Regardless of where you sat, in the theater, you got the whole thing. And it was just, I mean, I can only speak for me, but because we have a lot of the people came there locally, so, they finished their work day and then they came over and then they left. But for me, it was like, it was just a whirlwind, getting there in the morning. And then I left like at midnight that day. So I wasn't even there for a whole day. So it was just one after the next, just incredible experiences. There was, in that 1 minute recap, there was also the talks of Brazil, which was cool. Yes.
Yeah, Brazil, I heard, is going to have a fan event. I don't know if they already had it. But also Miami and somewhere else. Like, they're just going to continue these,
nice.
I suppose, around the world.
I guess they have to hurry up till Tuesday, but
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, in the Lucasfilm lobby there, do they still have the Vader costume and the R2 and 3PO and all the props?
Yeah.
So you did have something then. We
did.
Had props.
Yes. I mean, for those there for the first time, it was, and again for people who came there again, it's still amazing. I mean, just being there is just with a fountain there and just be at the center of everything is it has that certain feeling to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like if we had when we originally got an invite, it was to California, New York, or San Francisco, and we were like, well, if we could have got time off work, we might have sprang for San Francisco because of it's right there. Where
that's
everything
the
is
hub.
Created. Yes.
And plus, you get that Yoda statue right there. That's like the hub of the hub.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's so cool that you got to experience that, Marcus.
They told us before, like, when it's done, just don't leave. Come outside near the fountain. And then they took a huge picture. Somebody was stepping on a
ladder.
Like a ladder, and then just took a picture of everybody from in front of the statue or the fountain all the way up to the doors of the lobby.
Where are you standing? Left, right, center?
I was so if you face the fountain, I was on the right backside on the edge, like on that corner. You can see me on there if you know. What's that?
Because you're tall, so you have to be in the back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it was pretty cool. I mean, really, just everything. And then we didn't leave. We still stayed there. Some left, but most of us were just kind of taking it all in again and just kind of recapping it amongst ourselves. And it was. I mean, I can't say anything. I can't say anything, bad about it, or it was just incredible. And I'm sure others had similar experiences on both coasts.
Yeah, I think this is the first time they've had a fan event that covered 5 cities.
Oh yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah, so highest kudos to Disney and Lucasfilm.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think London is coming up tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta spread that word far and near. All right, Marcus, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience.
Yeah, and let us know, where can Skywalkers find you on social media?
On Facebook, Marcus Doring. Instagram, also Marcus Doring, or my TK handle with a 501st, which is TK14057.
If you see a guy in a pair of pink shorts, that's Marcus.
Probably.
And nothing else. All right, Marcus. Thanks for coming on and sharing your stories once again. We'll talk to you later on.
Anytime. Thank you.
AHSOKA.
AHSOKA Tano.
2-episode premiere streaming Tuesday.
Meredith Duckworth is back with us now to share her fan event experience from Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando. Welcome back, Meredith.
Hello again.
So now you were able to attend the fan event at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando. How were you able to get on that invite list?
Magic. The Force was with me. I had literally been out on Monday, and I walked back in my house, and I got a little notification from D23 at 5:45 p.m. that tickets would be going on sale for the Disneyland and Disney World fan events for D23 at 6 o'clock. So within 15 minutes. So I kind of had to do the drop everything and get ready to be logged in for that, because those virtual queues, they go fast. And they literally did. The Disney World event was sold out in 20 seconds. And I only managed to get 2 tickets out of my 4 available.
Oh, well, at least you got 2. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. So, well, that was lucky that you saw that message, because if you had not seen that notification, you would have been out of luck.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Timing is everything in this world.
Yeah.
All right, now take us through the nights when you got there, what you saw, what you did.
Or the day. Were you there all day?
Yeah. Well, so a big part of the package. A big part of the package is they grant you Hollywood Studios all day, and much like the Star Cruiser, they grant you time on to the Smuggler's Run and to Rise of the Resistance. And then they also grant you Star Tours too, so that was fun.
And these are the fast passes for those rides, or
the lightning
lanes.
Yes, that's correct. The ILLs technically, since it's a Rise. We did the rides, and then on the way there, I actually got notification that I had a reservation to build a droid, which is amusing because even though I live here, I have not done droid building or lightsaber building for myself yet. So
yay! So you got to build a droid?
I did, and it worked out very nicely because I wore my Her Universe droid dress. So,
what kind of droid did you build? A chopper, an R2 unit, a BB unit?
I built a cross between Chopper and R2.
Oh.
So it's got R2's body but Chop's head.
Ah, that's so cute.
And it has both of their personalities.
Like a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Yes.
I love it. So what time did you get there, and what time was the screening?
So we got there about 10 o'clock in the morning. So we basically rope dropped studios. And then
Nice.
the screening wasn't until check-in was at 6 and the screening showed at 7. So they had that. And then they also gave us food credits. Surprisingly, they gave us a Disney gift card rather than food credits. But I guess since they didn't have a reservation to attach it to, it's easier to do the gift cards. So we poked out some of the foods that we hadn't had. And then you check in over at Launch Bay, and ironically, the showing was actually in the theater right next to Launch Bay, which when they used to host Star Wars weekends here, that is the theater where they used to have the fan panels. And in 2014, it's actually the theater where I saw the initial Rebels panel, where we got to meet the Rebels characters for the first time.
Is this within that Launch Bay building?
So Launch Bays is over here, and then it has a connected building that right now it pokes out into Toy Story Land. And generally that theater right now shows One Man Stream. But they occasionally show other short films there. And on Thursday, they showed 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
Okay, got it. We've been in there once.
Yeah,
The
we've been in
one-man
there,
stream.
I think, for a lot of Star Wars weekends panels.
Yeah.
Okay, then what'd you do?
Well, so we got there and we were supplied with snacks, which I saw you guys were as well. We got our thermal detonator drinks and blue and green milk, and they brought...
Wait a minute, hold on.
What?
You were what? We didn't get any of this.
No.
Was this actually in the actual screening itself, or the day leading up to it?
Nope, in the screening itself, we had the popcorn the grain from Batu. We had blue and green milk. We had the thermal detonators and all the flavors, and the Dasani. And then
You know what? I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm very happy with what we got.
That's amazing.
And then we watched the episodes. Mark Daniels actually hosted ours. I don't know who hosted your guys's. And he advised us after the show, he's like, and did you guys see Ahsoka's new lightsabers? And just so you know, everybody here gets a set of Ahsoka's lightsabers. So,
wow.
Well, see, we didn't know that until we were leaving the screenings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
by the way, here's some more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun because I'm pretty sure your guys' invite said the same thing as mine, but please feel free to dress up and bring your lightsaber with you because we will be doing a group photo.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get that memo.
Right.
If it was there, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
They said to bring the lightsabers to the El Capitan
Right.
screening, but I didn't see a lightsaber notice for this one, so we didn't
No.
bring anything.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, there's too much stuff to carry. Did they also give you Ahsoka headdresses?
We did not get the ears, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw you guys got them.
Suddenly I feel better about this.
Ironically, I had actually bought that for Sam while we were there that day because I hadn't bought the ears yet. So I'm like, here, you can have them to wear. So they wore that with my Rebels t-shirt.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I was very surprised at the amount of snacks they gave you. Normally it's popcorn and a soda, but they had a table. We just put out a video highlighting our night, and I show a table just full of snacks. If you were on a diet, sorry, not that night you weren't.
That's a treat day.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
a cheat day.
So now after the screening, what did they do? Because I heard yours has an after event.
Yes, so we actually, and I'm hoping you guys did this at Disneyland too. They actually marched us through studios, lightsabers out all the way to the Falcon, and we did multiple shots there as well. And then obviously got to enjoy the park for as much as was left for that too. So the after event was small but fun.
Now I did see that picture of everyone in front of the Millennium Falcon. And there wasn't a Ahsoka there front and center. I'm guessing now it was a cosplayer because
yes.
we got the official Ahsoka over here at Disneyland.
Right.
And I didn't know if that was just an Ahsoka.
It was just a really good cosplay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what? Yeah, at this point, I can't tell what is what anymore.
Literally, the only thing I'm surprised about is we didn't get the original Ahsoka because she has a habit of showing up at after-hours events here at studios.
Oh.
Right now, it's kind of a shady time to pop up at different events and what is allowed, what is not allowed.
Oh, right.
You need to bring along that big SAG manual to tell you what you can do and what you can't do anymore.
Exactly. Okay.
How many people were there? Look like you guys had a massive amount of fans.
No, honestly, it's kind of funny because I think they did it just enough so the theater wasn't full, but it was enough that you had people there that could enjoy it without being cramped together, which was kind of beautiful, actually. It was really funny because a lot of us had our droids sitting on the seats next to us, and there were points when they actually interacted with the movie.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Wow.
Because the droids, when they're sleeping, they stay asleep unless they get something that brings them out of sleep mode. And there were quite a few droids that came alive during the show.
Wow.
Wow, I wonder how that...
That's interesting. Yeah, at ours, the droid builders, they held our droids for us, so none of us had our droids with us.
Well, that was an option. They didn't...
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, because we didn't want to carry around a big giant box throughout the whole park.
Right.
And it was a hot day here, so the less you had to carry, the better.
The three sons were definitely over Batu then.
Yeah, we were definitely experiencing our bright suns.
Yes.
I felt like 4 suns. So what surprised you the most about this experience?
Honestly, it was a surprise from beginning to end. I joked with Sarah that pretty much starting at like 6 a.m. Wednesday, every 6 hours I had a new email from Disney going, hey, like the first email that came, so I got my confirmation on Monday, like 10 minutes after I did my thing. Here's your receipt for your tickets to the D23 event. And then at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, I got notice that here's a $50 dining gift card. I'm like, all right, I know how this works. I know what that's for. And then 6 hours later, I got a notice, okay, wait, we are out of this world to welcome you to the AHSOKA fan event. Here's a rundown of things that will be happening that day. And they're like, you can go to the park. You're going to get lightning lanes for these 3 rides. We're sending you a Disney gift card separately. We're sending you a parking pass. One of the people there that I was talking with commented that the total amount at that point, and this is before we knew about the sabers and stuff, that we probably got $400 worth of value easily.
Wow.
That includes the park ticket.
Park tickets, parking, yep,
Oh, yeah.
and the food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
3
Yeah,
events.
parking alone is a majority of that 400.
And then for D23, you just had to register for tickets. You didn't have to pay, right?
They were free tickets, that's correct.
Yeah.
But they were only for gold members, so technically I've already paid for them.
Yes.
When you say, tickets to the park or tickets to the event?
No, tickets to the event. A lot of D23 events will have like a price tag attached to certain events.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not all of them are free. Yeah.
Yeah, the one I attended a year ago for the Epcots, I think my tickets were $30 for that day.
Yeah.
All right, so if you were to say that maybe this could have been done better, or did everything meet your expectations, or if you were to get a comment card later on, what would you say that could be in maybe the con
Improved.
list?
Maybe
Yeah,
improved.
yeah, the improvement
What
list.
could be improved?
So, ironically, I have two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
The email I got that explained everything that was going on was very detailed and possibly a little more detailed than necessary for the market that it was dealing with. Because odds are, if you're a D23 Gold member who can get to Magic Kingdom or who can get to Hollywood Studios within 2 days, you probably already have the My Disney Experience app downloaded. You might even have an AP and that kind of thing. But like it literally explained, here's your parking pass, here's how to download the app, here's how to log in and do this. And I'm like, that's maybe not necessary. But on the other side, once we actually got to the check-in area, so the check-in at Launch Bay was over in the section where the props and the movie posters and the cells are held. And then you go into Launch Bay and you come out, and it wasn't entirely clear which side of the theater they wanted us to enter on. And the cast members that we asked were like, well, we think it's this side, but a common problem at D23 events here in Florida is knowing exactly which door they want us to line up at. So like when we have the AMC events, sometimes they want us to line up by the back door. Sometimes they want us to line up by the front door. And it ended up being that they wanted us to line up at the back door to the theater so they could funnel us in that way.
And Disney fans, they want to get in that line.
Mhm.
They want to get in that line, damn it.
We're conditioned to be in lines.
So we need to know where this line starts.
Yeah. Always in motion are these fan events.
I heard this one group goes around Disneyland, and for a prank, they'll just start a line somewhere and see how many people just randomly get in it, because they're like, what's this line for? And they get in.
The sociology experiment, yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. All right, anything else you want to add about the fan event?
You know, honestly, I'm glad they did it. It definitely felt like a good D23 event. And I love that they had it in multiple locations. I'm glad you guys got to go to one as well. It was kind of amusing, though, that we had that conversation. Like, oh, by the way, I'm going to one too, apparently. So,
Yeah.
Honestly, it's you have to know what to watch for the notifications. And again, like I said, this is one of the reasons I moved to Florida, is because I wanted more access to the D23 events.
Yeah, and you get a lot of it.
Yes.
And that's awesome.
All right, well, thank you, Meredith Duckworth, once again for joining us, and we'll see you at the next one.
Till the Spires.
When the stakes are this high, we have to do what's right.
2-episode premiere streaming Tuesday.
We are now here with Lou Secchi and Tim Riker from the Force Chatter podcast, and they are also part of the 501st Legion, and they attended the event in New York City. Hey, guys!
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show to share your experiences from the Big Apple. So take us through the night. What was the progression of events? And Lou, should we start with you first?
It doesn't matter.
Or Tim. Either one.
We're actually interchangeable, so people look at us and say, "Oh, it's the same guy." So, so we had gotten the invite to go down to New York. Made sense because we're only about 2 hours outside of the city, and Tim was available to come down and join me, so it was great. And it was right in Times Square, so it was the AMC Empire Theater in Times Square. And as you can imagine, Times Square being a very busy place, people with lightsabers and costumes didn't really look out of place. We kind of fit in with the whole New York motif thing. In fact, jumping ahead, when we got out of the screening, we went to in Times Square proper for a photo shoot because they take over all the screens in New York City in Times Square with AHSOKA ads. The event was really awesome. I mean, getting down to New York City and getting into the theater to see this was a new experience for us, and we really enjoyed it.
Now, I haven't been to Times Square in years. How far out of the Times Square proper is the theater?
It's right on 42nd Street, so it's at the top end of Times Square. And it's really literally around the corners where we did the photo shoot, which was in the center of Times Square. And like I said, they had paid to take over all the screens at a certain time, for 5-10 minutes after we were done with the screening. So all the screens were showing the AHSOKA trailer and, information about the premiere and everything else. So it was really good to see all that.
Oh, wow. AHSOKA takes over the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It was pretty wild. It was really cool to see. You just look around and they were all over the place, and it was AHSOKA everywhere.
Oh my gosh. That must have been cool. Like, Tim, did you notice anyone in the crowd who wasn't part of your fan event, like just reacting? Anything like that? Like, what were reactions from just general New Yorkers?
Passerbys.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, the what of course I jokingly refer to as the procession of nerds, because there was 150 of us, I think, all with lightsabers. I mean, a lot of us brought lightsabers, and for those who didn't have them, Lucasfilm folks were there and handed them out to people. And so we kind of had to go that block and a half to get from the theater to this place. They had kind of little risers set up for us, and it was kind of fenced off. So as we're going through Times Square, which is, of course, packed with a gazillion people like it usually is, people are literally taking video of us as we're all walking through, a handful of people in cosplay, some people bounding, all of us with lightsabers, kind of processing through the crowd and getting there. And then once we got there, just, a ton of people kind of gathered around that fenced in area just to kind of, I guess, experience it with all of us. As some of them were clearly fans, and some people I think were just simply curious, so they're taking photo and video of us while we were getting our photo and video moment with the backdrop of all the screens and everything in Times Square. So it was cool. It was neat.
Now, does Times Square still have their street performers? So maybe you have an AHSOKA, Spider-Man, AHSOKA, Batman, Statue of Liberty, AHSOKA, Clone Trooper.
I did cross swords with a Deadpool.
Yeah.
On the way from point A to point B. There was a Deadpool and I think a Spider-Man was next to him, wasn't it, Lou?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I kind of held my lightsaber out to Deadpool, and he drew his sword, and we kind of clashed swords on the way by. So yeah, there were a handful of comic book characters and such around. I didn't see any Star Wars folks who weren't a part of our group, though.
No.
Were you guys both dressed up?
No.
Okay.
We didn't
I know
do
you're
any
part of the 501st, but
right. And the costumes we have are a little hard to sit in the theater with. So
or walk or breathe or
walking
see.
too. Yep.
Okay.
So I had an AHSOKA sweatshirt on, and we Tim had a kind of a partial Old Man Rex costume going on. At least the look and the aesthetic of it. So we fit in, but we didn't have the whole costume going on.
Yeah.
And you said that you had driven 2 hours to get there. Where did you come from?
I live in Southern Connecticut. It was about a 2-hour train ride. We're about 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on traffic, via car. But the train gets us right down into Grand Central, and it's like a 2-block walk over to Times Square.
I know the invitation list reached out to media influencers, cosplayers, and D23 members. So they reached out to you because you're part of the 501st, correct?
My invite actually came because of the podcast. I'm on one of the Lucasfilm mailing lists, so we got that, and Tim and I joined for that. My local garrison did get 4 invites. Our local Rebel Legion got 4 or 5 invites. I don't think the Saber Guild did. I saw some Mandalorian mercs that were there in the crowd from another, probably from New England clan for that. And I know there's some other, social media influencers I saw there that were up in the local area that were attending.
Okay. And so how big of a crowd was there? Like, did you guys fill the theater? How did that work out?
Yeah, the theater was full. It's one of the newer style theaters with the reclining seats, so they're not as many as there used to be in a theater, but the theater was full. I would estimate probably about 150 of us were there total, from the size of the crowd walking around.
Nice.
So what kind of activities did they have? Some of the events had props and costumes and VR experiences. What did New York have to offer?
Oh, we had a DJ. Which was fantastic, and they were plugged into the whole Dolby Atmos
nice.
sound system in the theater, which is really cool. So the whole place was like vibrating. It was awesome. And then they were running. I think from what I saw, everyone kind of had the same screen. They were running like trivia. Ahsoka related trivia up on the screen. So they then kind of once in a while would jump in and kind of turn that into a contest. And there were a handful of like events people there from Lucasfilm who were handing out prizes and just kind of, working the crowd a little bit, and some camera folks. We also had a chopper.
Nice.
They're with us. I don't know if that was from local.
I don't know if it was a Droid Builder Club or if it was
that
theirs, but
Lucasfilm.
yeah.
And
they had that front and center in our photo in Times Square too. It was kind of cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. We did miss out on Chopper, but I'm so glad you
San
guys got
Francisco
Chopper.
got one. You got one. Wait a minute. There's more than one
What?
Chopper.
What?
What is this?
That's not possible.
No.
That's not true.
What kind of magic is that?
Exactly.
Did they have any kind of costumes or props or anything on display?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they did not. I did see some images from some other locations that did have some stuff up, which was really cool. I was a little jealous of that. But no, they didn't bring anything in. The only costumes that were there were folks who came in cosplay. So,
what cosplay stood out to you?
Aside from Deadpool.
There was a really good Sabine in our group, right down in front.
Yes.
And she was pretty much front and center in our photo. Saw a few Ahsokas. There wasn't a lot of full cosplay, but just because you had to sit down in the theater, there was no changing area.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a big area that Lucasfilm owns, like some of the other venues had been.
And when you say Sabine from Rebels season 1, 2, 3, or 4, from the first episode of Ahsoka or the second episode of Ahsoka?
No, I think she was from season 3, I believe, with the hair color she had on.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. It was. I think a season 3 or season 4 Sabine. One of the Ahsokas was in the winter garb, which is really cool. Must have been stupid hot to be in that, but it looked amazing, looked fantastic. And there were even some that were kind of unrelated. Of course, 501st folks. So you've got a couple of regular TK stormtroopers. There was a Padme in her evening gown. There was a couple of other folks here and there. A lot of folks just brought helmets, which was really cool. So like a lot of the Mandalorian mercs had Mando helmets, and a few other random ones. So it was good. It was fun. It was like I said, a lot of people had lightsabers. And so, they had us doing things with the lightsabers kind of before the show started and such, which I'm sure, gave some great pictures in a darker theater. So it was cool.
Now, our screening had a ton of surprises. Whenever you do a turn around, they'd be handing you something new. Here, take one of these. Take one of these Ahsoka headbands. Take lightsabers. Here's some snacks. What kind of swag did you guys get?
We really didn't. The swag they gave out was the prize stuff they gave us when we were doing the trivia contest. But yeah, we unfortunately did not get any swag aside from they fed us. They gave us some snacks and stuff for the movie. But unfortunately did not get any swag.
Huh. What were some of the prizes?
And I'm sorry I brought this up.
Yeah, thanks.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
So prizes ranged from I got a small little Ahsoka necklace that I'm going to give somebody in our garrison because it doesn't really match my eyes. There were some pins given out. I don't know if there's any shirts or anything. I saw pins. I saw a bunch of small.
There were some action figures.
Yep, I saw action figures too. That's right.
Yeah, I think there might have been a small Lego set or two, something like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so aside from what you'd seen in the Ahsoka episodes, what was like the biggest surprise of the night?
I think just the overall impression I got was being our first kind of a fan event like this. I think the first one they've done. It was just exciting to be there and taking it all in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great experience. Something I think we would definitely do again. For other shows, for movies, for whatever. Super exciting. And we've got friends who have had opportunities to do other premieres. I'm also on a Marvel podcast. One of my co-hosts lives in Toronto. And for like the last 2 years, she has gone to every single Marvel premiere in Toronto. So I've been like super stoked for her and also a little bit jealous. So like this was a cool thing to get to go to. Of course, yeah, big bummer because of the strikes. So we didn't, have any celebrities or anything, but still the whole experience itself was really a lot of fun, super enjoyable. And I mean, getting to see those episodes in a theater on a big screen with that sound and everything. I mean, the episodes themselves were freaking amazing, but just having that environment and with 150 of our best friends to enjoy it with, that was just a really cool experience.
That's gonna be something you'll remember forever.
Oh gosh, yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
and also something every Tuesday night now when we watch it, going, oh, it's on a smaller screen. I'm going to sit really close to my TV so I get that experience.
There you go.
Oh, they spoiled you. All right, so Tim, you said that the episodes were amazing. So Lou, what in a nutshell, what did you think of the episodes?
Oh gosh, I think the one big takeaway I had from the episodes, aside from being just great content and a great continuation of where we left off with Rebels, I thought the sound design was amazing. Yeah. Things that we don't normally hear in Star Wars, from the music being different to just some of the sound of Sabine putting her armor down on a table. You felt how heavy it was. I'm like, wow, it's something I never really heard before in Star Wars. So yeah, I think the sound was probably my favorite part of seeing that on the big screen.
Okay, Tim, what really stood out for you?
The nexus of storylines. It's kind of everything that has been building up for us for the last few years, from different shows and even elements from movies, that it's all just kind of it's coming together now. We've had stuff from The Mandalorian, and even little things from Kenobi that eventually end up in here, and things from the Bad Batch that end up in here, and obviously the Clone Wars, and obviously Rebels. And so it's like all these just little elements all kind of coming together now into this super exciting thing, in this big storyline for Ahsoka, obviously with Thrawn, which is, just this huge thing that like we're all waiting for. And I love seeing so much of what we talk about over on Force Chatter is I love seeing this kind of this little bit of interlude of like, early on the formation of the Empire, and then now, okay, so now we have this new Republic, and then what are some of these inside machinations? I like seeing some of those like internal politics and some of those discussions, and we had so much of that in this. While there was a lot of incredible action, I also really like the exposition that we were getting that just keeps kind of building more and more of that just context for us, which I think is fantastic. I'm still going to be salivating in a couple days over, getting to rewatch episodes 1 and 2. So I'm still super excited about it. My wife she's ready.
Yeah.
I've not spoiled anything for her. So
good.
You're a good husband.
Yes.
All right. Now, before we wrap up, tell us where we can find Force Chatter.
Oh, we're part of the Random Chatter Network, so you can find us at randomchatter.com. We have several shows over there, including, like Tim mentioned, our Marvel show and so forth. Best place to hear us.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, do you have a sign-off for Force Chatter? A Neverland on
really.
Oberon, a Bright Suns, and may the Force be with you. This is the way.
No, not really. Just until next time.
So, all right. So then you have some homework to do.
We do, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences in New York City.
Who's the youngling?
I'm Master Skywalker's Padawan. The name's Ahsoka Tano.
So I thought you said you'd never have a Padawan.
There's been a mix-up. The youngling isn't with me.
Stop calling me that. You're stuck with me, Sky Guy.
Well, that wraps up episode 429 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank so many of our friends, Meredith Duckworth, Martin Keeler, Marcus Doring, Louis Secchi, Tim Riker from Force Chatter Podcast,
Brian Sims, Louella Laureolla, and Nanette Pittenger, also for sharing their stories of the AHSOKA fan event.
And another big thank you to Lucasfilm and Disney for inviting us to this event. We had a blast.
And thank you so much, Skywalkers, that you comment, like, and chat with us. We love that. Oh, Kevin. Welcome, Kevin. He's chatting with us, too.
Hey, Kevin.
Tuning into the...
Kevin was at the El Capitan
That's right.
event, weren't you, Kevin?
Yep. I think I saw that.
And
awesome.
Once again, watch our Instagram this week so you, too, could look like Sarah.
Yay! And win a pair of these AHSOKA ears.
Now, are you interested in our books Today in Star Wars History, Part 1 and 2, and Skywalking Through My Fandom? Well, pick up a copy over at Long Beach Comic-Con, September 2nd and the 3rd, where we're going to be hosting some panels, too, including Star Wars Trivia Challenge Strikes Back.
We are so excited about that. All right, we want to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their support. Are you thinking of a trip to a Disney park? You can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. And once again, their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, do you want to support Skywalking Through Neverland? Oh, yeah, you do. Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon. The Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions. And starting next week, we're going to start our Zoom discussions once again for AHSOKA.
That's right. Now, this bonus content begins at only $5 a month, so head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at the options, and we just want to give a huge thank you to those of you who are already part of the Skywalking Force. And it is you we really want in our Zoom chats, so please join us. We will be posting the link and the time on our social media, so stay tuned for that.
Now, we are part of the Skywalking Network,
Skynet,
where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History.
You can find us on social media. We are at Skywalking Pod almost everywhere except for Facebook. And on Facebook, you can just search Skywalking Through Neverland as well as YouTube. And you can email us, share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
And
always remember,
Neverland on Alderaan. Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.